State capture tells the story of a looming darkness that envelops the state of South Africa. This darkness is caused by the state's leaders in the absence of South Africa's most precious power, transparency, the gift of truth within power, the rise of a new generation that all are born with this power. The millennial bodies are slowly shedding light onto South Africa's shadowy existence. We follow the life of Siphokazi, a millennial gender non-conforming journalist who works for Just Truth, a dynamic and investigative publication company that is privately run by a group of motivated millennial bodies. Volume 1, State Capture. Siphokazi wakes up getting ready for work. It's still dark, 5 a.m., but there's no electricity due to load shedding. She lights a gas stove and heats some water to wash with, thinking, I just want to be able to take a warm shower again. This loading business needs to fall. Dressed and eating porridge in the kitchen, her two housemates join her at the table. Sage, is there more porridge, babe? I need to take my meds. Who wants to wake and bake? No one. Having no light in this house is really starting to get me down, guys. Be gentle with yourself today. Are you going to campus? Maybe, yes, I'll probably have a tut. I have to run, guys. The train is coming in at 12. 90, please open a window. Love you guys. You? 12 minutes? You're not in Europe, son. Siphokazi walks out the building into the streets, and there are protesters calling for a shutdown for women's rights. She raises her fist in solidarity. She arrives at the train station, and there's chaos. The trains are late. Again. She texts her supervisor, Deb. Trains are late again. My apologies. We'll be there soon. The reply comes immediately. Third time this week. We need to discuss, please. She stands on the platform in a crowd, disheartened, and thinks, there has to be an easier way to live. Just then, a gogo passes Siphokazi, and she helps her with one of her many heavy packets she is carrying. So many bags, ma. You? For the grandkids, this food. One day, our leaders will make this easier for us. I have hope they are still thinking what to do. It shouldn't still be this hard for us. Yes, ma. They are still thinking. State-owned enterprises, SOEs, like Eskom and PRASA, are public companies where the state is the major or only shareholder. SOEs are meant to deliver a service for the benefit of the public or the country, like electricity or trains. In essence, SOEs belong to the public, and the minister of a department acts as the shareholder on behalf of the public. This means that the public have to place their trust in the ministers and boards that manage SOEs. SOEs are not government departments like the Department of Health or Basic Education, because they are meant to operate like a business. But they may use taxpayers' monies, and often the public must pay for the service they offer, like electricity and public transport. A financial constitution is a set of laws and rules that countries have to make sure that government departments use public money for the good of the public. In South Africa, SOEs are not required to follow the same rules as departments. This is a problem. Money for SOEs must be used wisely, and profits should be reinvested to benefit the public. Volume 2, The Fall of SOEs. Siphokazi gets to work eventually and walks into the office, drained. She gets to her desk and the phone's already ringing. She answers. Just Truth Journalism, good day. Hi, I have a story for you. Is this line clear? Yes, go ahead, I'm listening. Have you ever wondered how the state-owned enterprises got captured? Why would I wonder about something like that? So you never think about why you don't have electricity or why you're late every day because the transport doesn't work? Okay, I'm listening. Check your email. Siphokazi opens her email and there's a mail from a no-reply address with the following. Start here. SOE capture. Siphokazi glances at this and cringes. Her boss, Deb, suddenly appears. You're late and still without a story to pitch for this month. Siphokazi thinking, don't you worry, Deb. I've got a story for you and a feeling that it's going to change everything. How were SOEs captured? Many SOEs were captured, and this was made possible by sinister appointments of board members captured by ministers. How could this happen? The serious problem is the secrecy and the lack of transparency around the appointments that ministers make. If a minister is corrupt or captured, then she can appoint people who will not challenge their decisions. These decisions include giving business contracts to friends and family and members that cost the SOE and the public huge amounts of money, but don't result in services being delivered. They also make services like electricity and train fare more expensive. Volume 3, The Honor Code. Siphokazi lights sage before bed and asks her ancestors to protect her through this investigation and give her strength to face her challenges. She falls into a sweaty dream. An ancient tribal culture where leaders are given power by their people to serve the tribe. This honor code was lost as more tribes attacked and persuaded the leaders to dim their light and make deals to expand their reach and influence. As the tribes expanded to merge with these diseased tribes from faraway lands, so did the darkness with the leaders until the tribe's power was no more. Siphokazi wakes up from this dream in a startling sweat. Hugh? Where's my laptop? Accountability means that the actions of officials must be transparent and predictable. They should be guided by policy, legislation, regulations, standing orders, and good practice. When called to account, officials must be able to motivate their decisions and actions in a way that is rational and justifiable. We need to know what officials are doing. They must be able to provide an understandable and predictable answer. When they do wrong, they must fix the problem. There can be no accountability without information. Volume 4, The Call for Warriors. Siphokazi calls a meeting at Just Truth with her co-workers to pitch her story for the month, SOE Capture. Her colleagues gather around in the Indaba room to engage. Everyone is sitting in a circle on the floor, meditation style, eyes closed with their transparency glow from their chests expanding outwards. They end their grounding session and Siphokazi speaks. SOEs belong to the public, but we have hardly any information or say about who runs them or how they're run. So this is why we need to come up with solutions for protecting our SOEs. Does everyone agree? I recognize that the youth can change the world. We've seen this before. We need to focus on the designing something that works better than the current diseased system, on something that does good for us, the public. Without the right information from Parliament and ministers and boards, and without us taking action, we will end up selling our gifts like our leaders before, or getting robbed of them. Exactly. My story will focus less on exposure, but more on information sharing. We must demand regular information from SOEs that is accessible. We must monitor who runs them and how they are run, and participate by giving solutions. We need to know who serves on these boards, what decisions they are taking, how they are working, and how we can contribute. This is our power, warriors. We are at the age of information, and through knowledge, we will embody the change and create the new design for our society. Amen. CEOs of SOEs must be appointed and held accountable to the board, not the ministers. Appointments must be based on clear criteria of merit, not patronage, to ensure that SOEs are led by quality boards. SOEs, ministers, and Parliament are required by the law to give the public access to all necessary information and that they are transparent. Members of the public should be involved in the nomination and selection process. Parliament should strengthen its oversight role over ministers and boards and SOEs by applying laws that address the effectiveness and by following up on any irregularities.